Hello, everyone. Welcome back. We are doing Check Your Understanding number two. And here we go. So we are to simplify this. This time we are adding and subtracting rational expressions with binomial numerators. All right. In the previous Check Your Understanding, it was monomial numerators, meaning one term. In this one, it will be two terms. Okay. This is a binomial. This is a binomial. So once again, guys, the idea is you have to find a least common multiple. Well, some of you might want to do the least common multiple, and okay, we can do that. All right. What would be the least common multiple? 8 and 6 goes into what? 24, right? And x squared. Okay. So the least common multiple would be 24x squared. Now, guys, if you're wondering, is that what I really do? No. What I really do is in cases like this, it is faster for me to just do this. I will turn these new fractions into new fractions that will have a denominator that would be the product of these two. Watch what I'm going to do. Now, the first fraction is 8x plus 5 over 8x. If I'm going to give it a new denominator like this, that means the x plus 5 has to be multiplied by this, okay? 6x squared. Now, oops, originally, the second fraction only has x minus 7 as a numerator. All right. But since I am now giving it a denominator of this, if I multiply the denominator by 8x, I have to multiply the numerator by 8x. Applying the distributive property to these two, 6x cubed plus 30x squared over. We can probably multiply these two now. That would be 48x cubed plus, again, distributive property. That would be 8x cubed or 8x squared, sorry, minus 56x over 48x cubed. Now, guys, they are having the same denominator, so we can just put them all together. 6x cubed plus 30x squared plus 8x squared minus 56x all over 48x cubed. Are there any common terms? Well, this 6x cubed remains the same. These two have squares, and I think those are the only two that would go together. 6x cubed plus 38x squared minus 56x all over 48x cubed. Now, guys, you're tempted to cancel out stuff here. Yes, so what you need to be able to do is to make sure that you will be factoring something from the three terms. All right. What is common to the three terms? All of them have x's, right? You cannot factor out an x squared because this one does not have an x squared. So you can only factor out an x. What about a number? 2. Oh, all of them are even. What about 3? No. What about 4? No. I think 2 is the biggest one that you can factor out. 2x, right? Times what? 3x squared. All right. So what I'm doing is I'm going to factor out the 2x, and I just need to check if this is correct. 2x times 3x squared should give me 6x cubed, and I think that's good. Okay. What about for the second one? Plus 19x. Quickly check 19x times 2x. Is that 38x squared? Yes. Minus 28. 28 times 2x, is that negative 56? Yeah. All over 48x cubed. Take a look. 2 cancels out to the 48, gives me a 24, right? What else? This x cancels out to this x here, gives me a square. So really, my final answer is 3x squared plus 19x minus 28 all over 24x squared. Okay? And what would be the non-permissible value? All right? The non-permissible value would be when x is going to be 0, right? Any questions? Looks good? All right, let's continue. This one. So again, as you look at these two denominators, you might find it hard to find a least common denominator. Again, I'm not gonna waste my time on that. I'll just multiply both of them. Meaning, the first fraction, all right, which has a 3cd originally as a denominator, I will multiply by 5c squared d. While the second fraction, same thing. The 5c squared d, I will multiply by 3cd. So the first fraction, which only had 3c minus 2 as a numerator, since the denominator was multiplied by 5c squared d, I will do the same thing to the one on top. All right. Now, guys, look. If I were to cancel these two, 3c minus 2 over 3cd would be going back to the original fraction, right? So that's okay. So the second one, c plus 8, right? C plus 8. Oops. Times 3cd. Okay. Now let's clarify this negative here. Oops. Mhm. Minus. Okay. So let's simplify. Do the distributive property here. So 5c squared d times 3c, that would be 15c cubed d. All right. And then this minus 10c squared d all over 3 times 5, 15c cubed d squared. Okay. Oops, sorry. Minus, so distributive property, 3c squared d. Then this one plus 24cd all over 15c cubed d squared. Now guys, we can now put them together under the same denominator, but you have to be careful. We are subtracting this whole thing. Therefore, if you want to put them together, you need to make sure that that negative is distributed to each of these. Or what I'm saying is this one, 15c cubed d minus 10c squared d minus 3c squared d plus 24cd. As you can see, that negative would be distributed to each one in the original numerator. Okay. Which gives me 15c cubed d minus 10c squared d minus 3c squared d minus 24 cd all over 15 c cubed d squared. And I think we can look at like terms. This is the only one that has c cubed d. It doesn't go with any. However, these two both have c squared d, so they are like terms. So 15c cubed d stays the same, while these two would be put together. That would be negative 13c squared d minus 24 cd all over 15 c cubed d squared. Once again, you are tempted to cancel things out. You have to make sure that if you are going to cancel anything from the top and the bottom, or the numerator and the denominator, you have to factor out from the numerator first. Okay? So what appears to be common to the numerator? There's no number that is common because this one is prime, right? But then I think all of the terms has CD. There's CD here, CD here, CD here. So why don't we factor out the CD? Let's factor out a CD from the numerator. So when CD is factored out, this leaves me with 15c squared, right? 15c squared times CD gives me 15c cubed d. What about for the second one? Minus 13c. Well, for the third one, minus 8. Okay. No, wait a minute. Why would I put minus 8? Minus 24. I don't know why I said minus 8, minus 24. Okay. So quickly check. This times this gives me 15c cubed d, so that's okay. This times this gives me negative 13c squared d. That's okay. This times this gives me negative 24 cd. So that is okay. All right. And now we can cancel out something here. The cd, the c cancels out with this one. Gives me a square. This cancels out with this. So what is left as a final answer? 15c squared minus 13c minus 24 all over 15c squared d. And what would be the non-permissible values? C and D cannot be equal to 0. Okay. I hope that makes sense, and I hope it helps. Thank you for watching. Bye.